नमस्ते दोस्तों, आप सभी का फिर से एक बार स्वागत है हमारे चैनल पर। तो जैसा कि आपने इंट्रो में देखा, आज की वीडियो में मणिशंकर अय्यर की सैंडविच बनने जा रही है और बनाने वाले हैं आनंद रंगनाथन। तो चलिए डायरेक्टली वीडियो में पहुंचते हैं। मैं मिलता हूं आप लोगों से वीडियो के एंड पे।
I am audible, I trust. Mr. Chairman, sir, I was really looking forward to Mr. Sanyal's intervention and had been told that it would be coming later in the proceedings. But I do wish to begin by acknowledging that he is a reputed historian and that Professor Anand Rangnathan, who was originally scheduled to initiate this debate, is none less than a professor of history at the Jawaharlal Nehru University.
He's a scientist.
Although perhaps he would prefer to have it called the Veersavarkar University. These two historians certainly make me feel very uncomfortable about having to oppose them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson and Madam Chairperson. You know, I came prepared for my 7 minutes, but I request for the clock to not be started just yet. Because I need to rebut the excellent Mr. Shankar Iyer for his plethora of lies, particularly against me, but I don't want it to eat into my time. So it's a humble request. Moreover, it would only take me 30 seconds. Now, normally I would ignore money like the first and last slices of a loaf of bread. But today I want to make a sandwich out of him. Now, please request the chair to start the clock. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful debate with a wonderful audience and wonderful adversaries who, and I say this in a lighter vein, can be introduced in 4 sentences. The first was kept in suspended animation by the Congress. The second has been suspended by the Congress. The third is itching to be suspended by the Congress. And the fourth is so sloshed that he can't even remember if he or he is not suspended by the Congress. As for the topic, I'm intrigued because this much emphasis on history, quite frankly, amuses me. Forget re-narrating. What in the first place do we mean by our history? It matters because, like science, it has to be built on an edifice of truthful observation and facts, because the correct understanding of it strengthens us, helps us survive, with a slight difference. Scientists like black and white, historians love the gray. This gray has given mankind, I put to you, ladies and gentlemen, only misery. It is because of the gray that there are people who still believe in religious books, or in Mao and Hitler and Tipu and Godse and Churchill and Rhodes and Aurangzeb and hundreds more who have committed awful crimes, but the believers of grey have forgiven them because they also did some good. Grey is social Darwinism gone berserk. Grey has birthed cruel empires and believers of the grey have feted them. Worse, our history has been written by those who believe in the grey. Nations weaken not because of their past, but rather by how they are taught it. For 70 years, we have been taught to forget historical injustices. From Somnath to Kashi Vishwanath, Babarpur to Bakhtiyarpur, from Allahabad to Aurangabad, these injustices have deliberately been made visible, as though to lionize the debasement, celebrate the humiliation. And the irony is that the same people who have taught us this, drilled this self-loathing in us, these very same people, men and women of grey, want others to fight historical injustice around the world. They condemn barbarians of the West, hitherto worshipped, like the Confederacy generals, Rhodes, Churchill, Pizarro, Murray, Colston, Leopold. They celebrate their roads and buildings being renamed, their statues being brought down. But here in India, they eulogize Tipu, Aurangzeb, Babar, Khilji. They celebrate the destruction of Kashi, Mathura, Ayodhya, Martand. Why? To me, the mark of civilization is this unquenchable thirst to demand justice for your ancestors, to correct a historical wrong. For that exemplifies a continuity, an idea, a memory that can never be erased. That is worth fighting for and preserving. It makes justice greater than the sum of its parts. And that is why civilizations are not fleeting like empires. That is why history is a medicine. Catharsis is a cure. If an image could speak a million words, it would be that of the Gyanvyapi mosque built atop Kashi Vishwanath, demolished by Aurangzeb. If orphaned stones could speak and not just weep, the stories they would tell of Mathura idols being used as stepping stones in a mosque. Why shouldn't Mathura or Kashi be washed of the sins of the tyrants committed on it? But the Supreme Court has willfully ratified the Places of Worship Act that obligates maintaining all religious places as they were on August 15, 1947. In a just world, our Parliament and our Supreme Court wouldn't have done this. But they have. Why? Because we are fearful of learning our true history. There are hundreds of examples, but just one would suffice. Tipu Sultan. Read his manifesto, written in his own words. It is a terrifying proclamation calling for all Muslims to come together to wage jihad. Annihilation of the infidels is a sacred duty, he writes. The Hindus of Coorg suffered a particularly brutal onslaught. Murders, tortures, forced conversions, even dead Hindus were converted, even dead Hindus. He destroyed 800 temples, 27 churches, captured 60,000 Christians, converted 30,000, killed thousands. And yet we call him a symbol of communal harmony. Yeah. We cheer when the statue of the evil racist King Leopold is demolished in Belgium. But the same we celebrate Tipu Jayanti because tyrants who murder Hindus and Christians are not tyrants but heroes. Let me make a more contemporary example. Our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. He cultivated this image very carefully of an upholder or protector of liberty and freedom of speech, an image that is still peddled by his worshippers and historians and namesakes. But the reality is very different. Nehru was a tyrant, a ruthless oppressor of freedom. Did you know that under him the draconian First Amendment was brought in? That Majru was jailed for 1 year? That Stanley Woopert's book 9 Hours to Rama was banned? Did you know Chandra Mohini was banned? Audrey Menem's Ramayana was banned? Campbell's Heart of India was banned? Kostler's Lotus and the Robot were banned? Frischler's Aisha was banned? Bertrand Russell's Unarmed Victory was banned? Just 30 more seconds. Robson's film 9 Hours to Rama was banned. Robert Taylor's Dark Urge was banned. Mrinal Sen's Neela Akshar Niche was banned. Tony Hagan's Nepal was banned. Film Gokul Shankar was banned. Godse's Testimony was banned. Goswami's film Runumi was banned. Historian Dharampal was jailed. President Rajendra Prasad's speech was banned. Draconian Press Objectionable Act was passed. Magazine Cross Laws was banned. Play Communistaki was banned. Its actors arrested. People's Theatre Association was banned. Play Harpita Master was banned. Film Ganga Jamna was blocked. Balraj Sahni's play Jadoo Ki Kursi was banned. Tagore's play Visarjan was banned. Editor Prahlad Keshav Atre was jailed. Harmonium was banned. But hey, Nehru was liberal and protected freedom of speech and expression. To end then.
तो दोस्तों ये थी आज की वीडियो। ये कांग्रेसी ना सच्ची में झूठ बोलने में इन लोगों ने और प्रोपेगेंडा करने में पीएचडी कर रखी है। चाहे जो कर पाए या ना कर पाए, झूठ कमाल की बोल पाते हैं ये लोग। और वही झूठ ये हमारे चैनल पर आके एक्सपोज होंगे। तो ऐसे ही वीडियोस आगे देखते रहने के लिए हमारे चैनल को जरूर सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और बेल आइकन को दबा लीजिए। मैं मिलता हूँ अगले किसी वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए जय भारत।